Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I'm sitting in the same spot that I was sitting in the other day, so I feel like this is going to be my spot for a while. Today I'm going to be showing y'all how to get glowing skin in less than 10 minutes, and then we're also going to talk a little bit about how I became an esthetician. So let's go ahead and get started. My first step, I use this. This is an essence treatment. It's like a toner, but it has a lot of good ingredients in it that just help your skin energize and recover from like sleeping. And if your skin is dry, it helps dry skin, and my skin's super dry right now. So I just put some of this. This is what the bottle looks like. So I just put some of that, and I also mix in some of this Smashbox Mindful 5. I love this stuff so much. It has 5 different ingredients in it, including hemp seed oil, red algae, green tea. It has prebiotics in it. It's just really good for the balance of your skin. So I mix that in together, and then I just go to town. I really like the products mixed together to make one product. So as you can see, it instantly just brings that hydration to your skin, and then you can go ahead and put your moisturizer on over it. Today I'm using the Image Skincare Vital C moisturizer. I love this moisturizer. It's the hydrating water burst, so a little goes a long way. This is all I'm using for my whole face. So I'm just gonna rub this in my hands and all over my face. So next, while this is doing its thing, I'm gonna focus a little bit on my eyes. So I have this stick right here. This one is by Pure Cosmetics. I love this stick so much. It's very hydrating. This is what it looks like, and you just rub it under your eyes like this. So I just rub it twice under my eyes, and it instantly just hydrates them. As you can see, they look like very hydrated. So after this, I go ahead and put my oil on my face. And I'm sorry I look like this today, y'all. Today is Saturday, so it's just my running errands day. I'm dressed like a soccer mom. I have a lot to do today. So this is a beauty oil by Farsali. So I love this stuff so much. So I just take a little bit of this, not even the full dropper, just some of it, like half of it. Rub it together and rub this on my face. If you have really dry skin, you will love this oil because it really hydrates without making you look extra oily. It really just covers that dryness and brings life to the skin. I love this product so much. Okay, so then the last step, I take my gua sha stone. This is very important. This is a very important step in getting glowing skin. If you skip this step, then your results are not gonna look exactly like mine. So you take this and you just start rubbing it across in an upward motion. This is going to wake up your tissues in your skin. This is going to wake up the blood flow in your skin. This is going to get the circulation going, and that's where the glow really comes from. If your circulation is not good in your skin and in your face, then you can't achieve the glow that you could if your skin was circulated. So I really like to do this. I started doing this about a year ago, and it really helps. It just gets the circulation going. So this is actually glowing skin in less than 5 minutes. It didn't even take me a full 10 minutes. Skincare does not have to be long. It does not have to be long at all. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. And my skin is still work in progress. But hopefully we can follow these few months and see how my skin looks in a few months. So once you get your skin circulated, that glow just comes and your products are absorbed. This also helps with products absorbing into the skin. So you just want to press everything in, and then that is it. So look at that. I love the glow. Okay, so it must be the glow for me. So next, I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I became an esthetician. So in 2015, I started working for a heating and air conditioning company. A year into it, I decided that it wasn't enough money for me, so I went out and got a second job. I was working at a fresh juice store. So I went out and got a second job. That second job brought me in like some good income, and I only used to work that job on the weekends, I want to say. Yeah, I used to work that job on the weekends, and sometimes at night after I would get off of my job, I would go to that job and work a few hours until they closed. So so that was like 2015, 2016. Well, 2017 came and I had a huge setback. So in 2017, when I had that setback, nothing happened at all. But going into 2018, I reunited with one of my old friends from high school. Me and him got really, really close. I used to tell him everything. He was just so cool. He was very, very cool. And I became best friends with him. So in 2017, I would tell him, like, I really want to go to school. I already know what I want to do. I know what I want to be. And he would encourage me, like, yes, you need to go to school. If this is what you want to do, I'm going to support you 100%. He really, really encouraged me. So in 2018, he passed away tragically. And I was like hurt. I was torn. I didn't know what to do. And I still had to work. So I was still going to work, but being torn over my friend who just passed away. And I was so sad every single day, and I would cry every single day. And finally, I don't know if someone mentioned it to me or if I just hopped on it myself, but I was like, I need to go to therapy. So of course, with having a job, I had insurance, and I found a therapist who would only charge me $25 per session. I was going to her every week, so it was only $25 a week. That was literally nothing to keep my sanity. So I was going to therapy. And of course, whenever I got to therapy, she wanted to know, what are your goals? What are your dreams? She wanted to know me underneath all the hurt and all the depression and all the sadness. She wanted to know me and what I wanted to do. So of course I told her, I want to go to school. I heard of this esthetician program. I actually toured the school in 2017. I toured the school in 2017 before the setback happened. So, but then 2017 and 2018, nothing happened. So then whenever I went to therapy and I told her, I actually toured this school in 2017 and I really want to enroll, she was like, well, what's stopping you? So we talked about all that. You know how therapists are, they want to get all in your business and help you out. So she would, whenever I would come into my sessions, she would be like, have you done anything to get enrolled into school? Have you went up to the school? Have you talked to the people from the school? She was always mentioning the school because she knew that that's what was going to make me happy. After all, like I think she knew underneath it all that was going to make me happy. She knew that I was miserable at my job. I would come in after, I would just leave my job, come in after my job, complain to her and talk about how shitty my job was. So she knew in her head, in her mind, of course, because she's a therapist, that I needed to get away from that job and that I needed to do something that I was really going to enjoy doing. So she would push me. So finally I did get enrolled in school. So I went and enrolled myself in school. Nobody went with me. I just enrolled myself in school. My parents were not very supportive of it because they thought that I was just gonna go broke and that I wasn't gonna have any money, and I was gonna probably lean on them in order to help me. And it just wasn't, it didn't turn out like that. But that's what they were thinking. So they, you know, they've worked 9 to 5s all their life. They've never done anything like a trade or anything like that. So they've never ran a business. They've never done any of that. So it's so foreign to them. So they weren't very supportive of it. But I went and I enrolled anyway. And then in 2018, a month before school started. So a month before school started, I got cold feet. I was like, I don't want to do this. I didn't want to do it. And I told my best friend at the time, I was like, I don't want to do it. I'm not going to go to school. And she was like, and she is an esthetician. So she had already went to school. So she was like, why not? Like, she really talked me into changing my mind back to going. So, you know, she encouraged me. She gave me some encouraging words, and that was like, okay, well, I really can do this. Like, it's not gonna be a big deal. It's just school. It's just school. Like, it's not a huge deal. So December 2018, school started. I graduated in June of 2019. Between December and June, it was, you know, just school. I had school. At first I started off, I was still working. So I was doing part-time work, part-time school. So school was one day, work was one day. School was one day, work was one day. Yes, I was still at this bullshit ass job. Like, I can't believe that I actually stayed there even after I had enrolled in school. So it didn't last long. It didn't last long. Within 2 months, I was out of there. And that was like my blessing. That was my door opening. That was everything. So once I no longer had that job holding me back, things just like brightened up. Like, a weight was just lifted off of my shoulders, and I was able to focus on school. You know, I had my little side hustles. And that's the thing too, is the whole time that I was working for the heating and air conditioning company, I always had a side hustle. I had another job, but I also had side hustles. So I just like always was doing something, always was moving. You know, I would have to go meet people on my lunch break. Like, I was always making moves. But that's just how I survived at that time. I had to do what I had to do. So during school, same scenario. I did what I had to do. So once I got into school, I loved it. Oh my God, I loved it from day one. I was so like into it. You know, and I was busy. My mind was sidetracked a lot of the time. So I had other stuff going on, but I feel like everybody had other stuff going on. So, you know, it balanced out, but I knew that that was my passion. I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I knew that I was in the right place at the right time. Like, I loved it. So I never missed a day of school. My mom took care of my son while I was at school. So she would take him to school in the mornings, pick him up in the afternoons, and watch him until I got out of school. I used to go to school 9 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. So, and it was on the other side of town, so there was no way I could come home or anything in between time. It was just straight school, school, school. But I had that off day in between, so that was a good thing. And then I went to school on Saturdays, so Saturdays I was never home. But I still try to have like a social life outside of school. It was kind of hard to balance, but you know, sometimes I would make it. Sometimes I would go to the casino over the weekend, or you know, like go out to a bar or something. But I made it through school. I made it through school. It was one of the best decisions that I made in my life. I've made a lot of decisions in my life, a lot of decisions. I've made a lot of bad decisions in my life, but I've also made a lot of good decisions, and I feel like they balance themselves out, kind of, kind of. So, I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of the backstory about me and how I became an esthetician. But of course, in future videos, we will get a little bit deeper and talk about what I'm doing now, how this came about, etc., etc. I do know that the way that things have happened has just been like crazy. It's kind of like you don't know what's gonna happen next, but then something happens or an opportunity pops up in front of you and you hop and you jump on that opportunity. That has happened a lot for me. And then even up to like when I was in school, even up to my last day of school, when I graduated, nobody came to my graduation. My parents were not there. My son was not there. And that's the part that really, really hurt me, was that my son didn't get to go to my graduation. So nobody went. That day, my best friend at the time was in the hospital having her twins. So was it her twins? Yeah, it was her twins. So I remember I left my graduation right away. Like as soon as they did all the names and stuff, I left my graduation right away, and I just cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. And then I just went to the hospital where my friend had just had her twins, and we went to like the little nursery to go see her babies. And you know, she just kept me company for the night. And I was like, all right, well, I'm mad, but I'm gonna go home. So yeah, like, you know, times are not always easy. I can say that times were not always easy at all. I could say that, like, I'm telling you, I went through some shit. I went through some shit. Just because, you know, things may look good now, I went through some shit and still going through some shit. So I just wanted to put this video out here to give y'all a little bit more background on me, and just to let anybody know, if you're thinking about, you know, stepping out and doing something of your own or following your passion, I would say to do it 100% and put those fears to the side, because I was very, very fearful. I've always lived a lot in fear, only because I've made so many bad mistakes in my life. It's like I'm scared to make another mistake, because then I'm gonna be known as the girl that makes all the mistakes, you know. And I just didn't want that. So I live a lot in fear. Before I make decisions, I try to think them through, so that it's not like another, okay, well, you just invested all this money and all this time, but you didn't do anything with it. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all for watching. I know this video was kind of long and kind of all over the place, but I had to just get it out, and I had to get it out how I recall. You know what I'm saying? If I would have wrote down and been reading off of a script, it would have been hard to tell the real story. So so that was that. Y'all give it a thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, and I will see y'all next time.